People, hello fam, how are you guys today? Doing okay myself, I guess. We are ADD, hey, ain't nobody's ADD like me. I said, hey, we are ADD. Come on people, we got ADD. I'm just barely me. As you can see, we got ADD. Hey! I can't get too stupid. I get myself worked up and get a wreck here. So, updates. Hello, cupcakes. It's Friday! So you will have the pleasure of listening to a video without directions playing the backfield. Let me get my whole ugly mug up in her. Let me get the whole ugly mug up in her. So, updates. No updates. So I'm going to bring it back old school. We're going to go to the old school. Back in this time era of this story in particular, this is even before I got hooked on opiates, I believe. Or maybe, yeah, it had to be before. So I worked for Anthony, as I've talked about, discussed, for many years, 20 plus years. And every summer, as I've discussed, we would go to Florida all summer long. It was one of the good kickbacks. All summer long we were in Florida. There's a lot of work. All of his work had become mainly commercial. We worked in stores and the malls, right? Everywhere. Could be here at home in Atlanta, could be anywhere in the Southeast. And as I said, he didn't start going where I wanted to, like LA and that end, whatchamacallit, Nevada, Las Vegas. He started doing jobs out there as soon as I could. But before this time, like I said, we were all the time going to Florida. So this one time in particular, we go and we've got a Victoria's Secret store to remodel. Okay, in Miami. It's an outdoor mall and a prime location. And so, like I said, it's an outdoor mall. So it's a store out, an outdoor mall. So people walking around all over. So give you a vision. But like I said, there's a bunch of stores in this little area, and they're all outdoors. So we're working at the store. We get down there on Halloween, right? We literally got down there Halloween evening, and there were two crews. The store had to be open. He had like 2 weeks to a month to open the store, and it was going to be the Victoria's Secret's shoot. The catalog, or whatever, the calendar, whatever, they were doing pictures and stuff, basically. That was going to be the store. They were going to do their spread for the year, whatever. So, like I said, they had to get the store ready, and Anthony had to have a boatload of people working. There was a lot of people working. There was every kind of thing needed, right? Carpenters, painters, electricians, all like that, right? So like I said, a slew of guys working round the clock, and I get down there and get stuck doing the night shift. So I'm painting all night and framing, hanging, and hanging fixtures all through the night. Okay, this store was open to the public. Some stores would be whatever. This one happened to be open to the public, so it would shut down, and the girls would still be in there. First night or two I'm in there, this girl starts talking to me in Spanish, right? And I tried to answer what little I could. And so later on that night, there was this guy Jose I used to travel with. Me and him had gone and painted stores, just me and him before. And so we go out to eat after we get off work that night, and we go out for breakfast every morning. This nice little diner. It's close to the beach. Sometimes we go to the beach, sometimes we just go back to the place. So this morning we go and we're having breakfast, and he said, you know that girl was talking to you? I said, yeah. He said she was asking where you were from in Brazil. She said she was from Brazil, and she asked what part you were from. A girl from Brazil now, like I said, thought that I was from Brazil. Just a little throw in there. So there were Victoria's Secret people all around at that time. I met the vice president for Victoria's Secret. Was down. I can't think of his name now. I used to remember his name. So Anthony got big jobs like that. So like I said, there was a slew of us on that job, and he rented out an apartment down there, right? So we had an apartment in Miami, in the heart, and I guess we were like many stories up, right? We're probably at least 20 stories in the air, if not greater. And so we can overlook the city. We can see what's going on the streets and stuff. A couple of streets, we got a good bird's eye view, right? Well, this is on one of these main roads through Miami. Not the, you know, it's kind of like not total ghetto, but you know, kind of ghetto-ish. Not, you know, most good portion of Miami is not, you know, upper echelon. You know, they got like their own private island or whatever. You have to go over a bridge to get to where they live, right? So the rest of Miami. So we're staying in this place, and every day, every evening, you know, we'd get off work. We'd work all night, get off, and go to the apartment and sleep. There's a slew of guys making racket all day. The guys that work during the day. I had to literally sleep in the closet. I literally had a pump-up mattress and a bunch of pillows and blankets, and had to sleep in the closet. It was more quiet, so it was dark, and it was miserable, right? So I was there for like 3 weeks. So during this time, we're doing stuff, working all night, doing a lot of hard work, pain in the butt. So the first night I get there, right, is Halloween. I get there, and I think I've discussed before, and we start working, and we just start working. It's an outdoor mall, right? It's a Halloween party going on. 100,000 people around. People are coming up to the glass, up to the windows, and beating and banging on it. People are walking. There's 2 entrances, right? People, and the door has to stays unlocked because we got guys coming and going, get materials, etc. So people are coming in and sneaking in to go to the bathroom. There's people in there drunk, just acting a fool. People are beating and banging on the glass. Girls are walking around showing their hoo-has, all of that. So we're working, and our boss tells us he needs help. Stop what you're doing. Tonight you're going to be on security, right? There's no chance in getting work done. You're working and you're painting and fixing walls and stuff, and you got people right there beating and banging, hollering at you, all that, right? You know what I'm saying? So there was no work that was getting done. So he said, tell you what, tonight you're going to do security. You guys stay out there and help me guard the storefront. So it was on the clock out there all night, drinking coladas and seeing all the Brazilian. The girl-to-guy ratio was insane. Way more girls than there was guys. All like 99.99% Latino. There's a lot of good-looking girls there. Anyways, so we have it out that night, and I'm there for a while, and average nights are, you know, same old. So we get towards the end of the job. We're trying to cop dope, this, that, and the third. There's people that live there. One of the last few days I'm there, I'm getting excited. I'd gotten a big check, worked these crazy hours, worked like 14 hours one day. I remember Anthony saying, I know it was more than that. It was 16, maybe 16 or something hours. I had worked some crazy hours like the last week, like 70, 80 hours, right? So I had a big check coming. And so I got paid, and one of the guys is from Miami, and I give him some money to get me an 8-ball. Comes back, give him the money, comes the next day, and he brings me an ounce of weed. And so, heartbroken, right? So like I said, we're working on it, one and done one. So we get done with the job, and now Anthony's happy. So now he's going to take care of his boys, right? keep in mind, we're in Miami. We're in this outdoor mall, like shopping area, hangout. People, they're all over the place over there, all night long. Miami's like New York, in a city that don't sleep. There's people running around us all night. And so I think I told about they have little shots of coffee. They're called a culotte. It's about like this. Drink that shit. It's like liquid crack. You drink it and it's super intense, We'd stay up all night just drinking these little coffees. So we're doing this, that, and the other, and we get down to the nitty gritty, to the end. So now we finish the job, and now Anthony's rare form. He wants to take care of his boys. He wants to show his thanks. He made a bunch of money. It was like, I don't even remember, a lot. It was over $500,000 job, right? So he made a bunch of money off that job. And so the last night after we finished the job, all of us, there was like 15, maybe more people, were right out. There was, like I said, there was bars and places all around this place. So we sat at one of the bars next to the place and started drinking, eating and drinking. This is at night. I start to get a little buzz on. We get back to the place where we've been, and during the whole time, the 3 weeks I was there, we would sit and watch from our balcony when we weren't working. Where we were, outside our balcony and across the street, was like the ghetto. It was a club bar on a corner. There was all your average type of people for a scenario like that. There was a guy in a wheelchair rolling around, dealing drugs, peddling drugs. A little Mexican guy peddling drugs. A crackhead white woman prostituting and cracking it up. And like these people, like they lived there, what I'm saying? Like I could count on them being there 10 for 10. They might go somewhere, but they pretty much, they're all like homeless. Like that's their block, I'm seeing these same people up and down the streets, and they're fighting and they're carrying on, and people are pulling up and getting drugs, and they're getting drugs. And this just went on the entire time, right? Watching this silly shit. So it was entertaining, it was better than watching TV. This is what we did when we weren't working. We watched, the Jays and the street people, do their thing. So the last night we're there, and like I said, Anthony got us all, took care of us. We ate, we drank. So we go back to the place now, okay? And it's Ramon's there. If you know my story, you know Ramona's. Ramon drove, was one of the cars going back. And so he says, come on, Mike, let's go home. Ramon says to me, and Anthony says, nah, man, come on, you stay and party, stay and hang out, bro. I said, hell with it, I'll stay. So I know we're just going to drink and have a good time that night, and we'll get up and go home tomorrow, right? As everything else, wrong. So my dumb ass decides to stay back and drink with Anthony and this guy named Earl. My name is Earl. Yes, it was. And so me, Earl, and Anthony kept drinking, and so now we're getting tipsy and we're trying to find some powder. So across the street, like I said, there's this bar, grill. It's a gay club, okay? I think this was a Friday or Saturday night. It was one of the happening nights. And we're drinking in our place, and he, like I said, he had rented this, 2-3 bedroom condo, apartment, whatever. And so we're sitting down on the balcony and we're talking, we're looking at the street people. They get foolish, especially at night and on the weekends. So they're out there foolish, and, we're having a good time watching them carry on. And they would get this bright idea that we're going to send me over there, and I'm going to go over there to the gay club and score some coke, right? So I go down there, and I'm hanging out, trying to, fit in. It was nothing like, pulling up to the ghetto where you're going to score some drugs, So I mingle in there, and all of a sudden, right there in the gay club, a fight breaks out. No foul, no calling out, no, I don't got nothing against gay people or nothing like that. They were both the sissies, I guess like the woman of the two, both the two guys fighting, and they're hitting, they're slapping, and I've seen, I've seen girls literally fight, better than that. So they sissified, slug it out. This thing carries out into the outside now, spills out onto the streets. I look up, Anthony and Earl up there snickering and laughing. And so they're fighting literally outside on the sidewalk. And, and it was nighttime, but they're carrying on. By this time, the whole club, it was not really packed. It was probably, I don't know, 20 guys max in there. They all pull out into the street. And these two sissies are out there pulling each other's hair and scratching and biting and all that. Sissified fighting, like I said. And it was entertaining. So, I could see Anthony and Earl up there dying laughing, trying to get their kicks off. And still never get no coke, right? So the night's still not over. So now, as I've discussed before, Anthony's had it out for me from damn near day one. I had worked for him when I first got out of boot camp, right? And then like I discussed, I worked for this other guy, Mike Powell, who's in stories. And I worked for, several other people. Micah runs low on work. Anthony run low on work. So I left. I veered away from Anthony and went and worked with Shane and did my own thing. And then yada, yada, yada. I get married. I have Colin. Some 5-10 years later, I come back to Anthony because now I'm looking for work. I had a son. Colin was just born. So I go back to work for him. So there was several years in between there that I didn't mess with him. Came back to work for him. And when I came back to work for him the second time, it was no time before my wife had told his wife that he was a whore and always getting prostitutes, right? So he had it out for me this whole 20 years. Every chance he'd get, he'd F with me. He'd pull my chain. He'd pull my wife's chain. But there were times, I made good money. This is around the house market crash. There was a time where there was like no work in Atlanta, no construction work. It was very hard to find work. There was even one time around then where there was no work. So I remember many times Anthony saving my neck. I may not have had nothing for 2 weeks straight. And then like he would call me, and save my ass. I'd pay my rent that month. I can remember that, years of that. Like I said, I did 5 years on the road with him, solid, steady, 10 to 20 off and on. So he's got it out for me, right? Bad, hard. He wants to F me bad. So there's a thing in Miami, and so if you do or don't know, so now here's education class. In Miami, in a lot of your major cities, they'll have what they call these, I don't even know what you'd call them, F-books. And it's a magazine, and you flip through there, and it's all hookers. There's that many hookers in Miami. The hooker capital of probably the world. I don't know. Like I said, I had never seen this before. It's an actual magazine. There again, half naked and some naked girls. And they're a whole magazine, like I don't remember how many, truthfully I was drunk, but there was pages and pages of prostitutes. Pick this one. And so Anthony's and Earl, and there again, if you've seen any of the videos about Scantony Anthony, you'll know he's, horniest of the horny, slimiest, some of the slimiest of the slime. So, he'll look through that kind of shit. That's nothing to him, He's a weirdo, too. There's many a days he'd walk around in the hotel room naked. Make me uncomfortable. Weirdo shit, Always walking around in his boxer, in his tidy whities, just weirdo type shit, right? So he's flipping through this thing, and he's got it in my face, and what do you think about her, Mike? And and this one, and it would literally do nothing. There would be the greatest high ever for Anthony to hook me up with a hooker, get some pictures, and send it back to Christy. He, like I said, he thrived off this. There would have been no greater pleasure in life for him to pay me back for telling Donna. Because like I said, from that day forward, forever, every time he go out of town, his wife, amped it up from crazy to psychotic, So me and my wife did that to him. So he always had it out. He shoved that damn magazine up my face all night long, I remember. Like wouldn't let it go, annoying type stuff, right? So we're trying to get coke. He's called a couple of these hoggers, and he's trying to get coke that way, and we wind up, I don't even remember what happened. I think either he had some or he got some. I think he had a little bit and was about to run out, and we did some and he ran out. I remember we had some, and that was part of the thing, the reason why I stayed behind. Anthony had some coke, and we were going to get drunk. So I remember doing a line or two, but then I remember being out. So like I said, I was fairly drunk. I was very drunk. I eventually got very drunk that night. I was already drunk, buzzing from the restaurant. When we got off work, we went and ate, had a few drinks. I was already buzzing in, so I was trashed throughout the night. And just remember doing a little bit of cocaine and wanting more and trying to get some and not being able to get some. I don't remember the whole thing. He was calling, like I said, 1,000,001 of these whores, hoggers. He was trying his damnedest to get me to be with one of them. Like I said, he stayed on it, and it was annoying all throughout the night. I remember saying, damn, I should have gone with Ramon, you know. So I stayed behind, let him torture me all night, trying to shove prostitutes in my face. Got to see a gay fight break out into the street. And so I'm thinking, okay, how bad can it be, right? So we've drinking all night. No sleep. No more powder. Just, I'm going to sleep, you know. I was up all night drinking. It was the last day job. So I'm going to sleep the whole way home, right? No. Never. So we get in the car and we're on our way home. I've had absolutely zero sleep now, and the sun's broke. If you ever been up all night and seen the sun break, you know the feeling, you know what I'm saying. We get in the car and his phone rings. And who is it? It's the boss of the job we just finished. He's got a buddy that's got a job that needs done today, immediately. One of these scratch my back, scratch yours, gotta have it done, please, whatever. This was one of his, you know, the boss over that job was his Victoria's Secret client, right? So you can't say no to those type of deals. Okay, what is it? These sorry son of bitches send us, oh my God, I went the wrong way. Oh, F. Damn, I got to talking smack and literally went the wrong way. Holy shit. Damn. Okay, not a big deal. Anyways, so we, instead of going home, he takes us to work on no sleep. We go to this other kind of outdoor mall, right? And we get there, and I'm on no sleep. But this guy's, I can tell he's all right. The manager, the owner of the store is this rich Russian dude. And so he says, you guys don't look so good. Anything I can do for you, let me know. And so I kept telling Anthony, dude, let's get some powder. What else can he mean? No, man. So this guy was telling us, whatever you want. Let me know if you need some. What else could he have meant? So I kept bugging Anthony, let me ask him about some powder, man. So I don't ask him about the powder. And Earl comes across some. Earl gets us some powder. So I'm still sitting there and I'm miserable. I think I got a line or two bumps. It was very minuscule. But he made me work on no sleep. And the guy goes and gets us those little culotta shots. Oh, F. And I effed up big. Wow. Effed up big time being on the phone, not paying attention. I don't know how I did that, but it's all good and all good fun. And so we had to work on no sleep. So in this store, okay, it's this rich Russian guy in Miami. They're kind of weird. They got different kind of weird things. And the store was the store had where you go to the dressing rooms, The dressing rooms, the entire dressing room was made out of like lattice. Lattice is like you could see in there, right? So this guy's got a store where you can see the people naked changing clothes. This way out, this is acceptable in these type of places. Like I said, this is in Miami South Beach, a mall at South Beach, and this guy's got like I say, he's got see-through freaking, and it's a women's clothing store, so you can see right through, and there's glass. You could walk right by and see naked women, broad daylight. Thought it was a good one to share. I need to get my ass wrap that around it. Love you guys. Stay today. We'll talk later. Peace.